This is a really emotional time for me. I'm at a bull farm where they raise bulls for fighting, and you know, it's just really sad to hear the lady explaining everything with a huge smile on her face, and she's saying how the bullfighting is a dance, and it is an interaction between the matador and the animal, and they're having this wonderful interaction, but then she fails to mention how at the end the animal freaking dies. So I just love how everybody puts a little different perspective just to make them justify the terrible things they're doing to the animals. And they're saying that because the bulls live in enclosures like this, where they're supposedly in a very natural habitat, which I agree, yeah, they're having a semi-nice lives, then at the end it's justified to kill them in the most terrible and torturous way. You know, I understand it's a cultural thing, it's a part of Spain culture, but I also grew up in a culture where we ate meat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we raised our own animals and slaughtered them, but I reject that part of my culture because I've realized that it's not a good thing. So just because we have been doing something for centuries doesn't make it the right thing to do, and it shouldn't be something that we do perpetually just because people from our past have been doing it. That's the definition of progress, is we learn from our mistakes from the past and we try to not pass it to the future generations. So I'm really inspired by the amount of people who have been turning vegan lately, and I think that I heard a number of something about 600% increase over the last couple of years, and hopefully within the next couple of decades we will have a bigger change when it comes to animal rights and helping us fight for their lives and for their actually for their lives, the way that they live it. So just because an animal is put in a natural environment doesn't make it justifiable to be murdered in the most gruesome way at the end. Pretty much these bulls do not have a chance. She's saying that the goal of a fight is to have a pardoned bull, but how often does that happen? Maybe once out of 1,000 fights. It never happens. At the end, bull is always the one who loses. And you know, how does the matador feel about it? Does that mean that he has a bigger penis because he kills more bulls? Pretty much. It's a macho thing to do, and it's a terrible thing we're doing for the animals.
In the case of Rafael Tejada, we are searching for the natural intelligence and nobleness of these animals, okay? So the main goal of the fight is never to have a competition between a human and an animal, okay? We are all part of the ecosystem. We don't want to know who is better than who, okay? So the only task of the fight is to have a communication between a wild animal and a human, okay? So we are giving the chance to the audience to get to meet these animals, because usually you cannot go inside a breeding farm. Usually they are all closed, they are all privates, okay? So the only opportunity for the people to get to meet bulls is on a fight, okay? But we are not trying to have a competition, we are not having an sport, okay? So this is an art, because it depends on you that you make the bull half a ton of muscles make what you want him to make, okay? So it's pretty difficult.
Well, here I am on the bull raising farm where they raise the bulls to fight in the rings. And right now we're having a lunch, and they were kind enough to make a vegan meal just for me. So I had a vegetable salad with lettuce and tomatoes and beets and all kinds of goodies, and they also created a vegetable stew just for me. So that was very kind of them to do for me. But I just want to reflect a little bit on my feelings here at the bull farm. And for example, at lunch there was pork and beef being served on a table, and then there was a little doggy running around the tables trying to get some food to eat, and then there are bulls being raised to be killed later in the ring. So it just shows how differently we treat different species of animals. One are for our food, one our best friend, and one is for our entertainment. So how do we decide? I just want to stress how important it is for us to realize that one species is not better than the other, and to not be a speciesist. It's not good for any of us. We all need to realize that everybody wants to be alive. Everybody is in this race for survival, and us as humans, we can actually make a difference in every meal we eat. Every meal we eat, you can save at least one life. So think about the power that you carry. Choose your entertainment wisely. Don't choose entertainment where an animal is used and abused and even killed at the end. There are a lot of better choices out there for entertainment and for a pastime, and to teach our kids to value every little creature, every living creature around us. Our children should be raised with the notion that there's goodness, and they shouldn't be raised with confusion of speciesism. So how do we raise our kid telling them to pet a dog and a cat, but then to eat a chicken or a cow for dinner? It just makes no sense, and it confuses them. And you will see a lot of little kids questioning parents about them, and the parents would just say, well, it is the way it is. Well, it shouldn't be the way it is. We have the power to change that. So please go cruelty-free, go plant-based. Every little meal that you eat, every snack that you eat can make a difference in somebody's life. You hold the key. Go vegan, please.
I don't wanna know where you've been or where you're going, but I know I won't be home and you'll be on your own.